If you're preparing for a Java interview, these 10 programs are a must practice. We'll write them in Eclipse and understand not just the code, but why each line is used. Let's start. 1. Reverse a string. First, we take scanner to get the string from the user and store it in the str variable. Rev is an empty string variable where we'll store the reversed result. Now this for loop starts from str.length, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, -1 because the last character has to come first. Char at open parenthesis, I close parenthesis gets the character at the current index and we append it to rev. Finally, println displays our reversed string. 2. Palindrome check. Here, scanner reads the input and stores it in structure. We create a string builder because it provides the reverse method, so reversing the string becomes very easy. 2. String converts the string builder back into a string. Now equals ignore case, parents compares the original and reversed strings without worrying about uppercase or lowercase. If they match, the if block says it's a palindrome, otherwise the else block says it's not. 3. Factorial of a number. We take the number using scanner and store it in n. Fact starts with 1 because factorial is based on multiplication and 1 is the correct initial value. The for loop runs from 1 up to n and fact equals fact times I multiplies every number into our result. Finally, println displays the factorial. For example, 5 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, which equals 120. 4. Check prime number. Here, n stores the number entered by the user, while i's prime is a boolean flag initially set to true. If n is less than or equal to 1, we immediately mark it as not prime. Otherwise, the for loop checks possible factors starting from 2. The modulus operator % tells us whether the number divides exactly. If the remainder is 0, we set is prime to false and use break because we already found a factor. 5. Sum of first and natural numbers. We first take n from the user and initialize the sum variable to 0. The for loop starts from 1 and runs until n. Inside the loop, sum equals sum plus I keeps adding every natural number to our total. Once the loop finishes, println displays the result. So if the input is 10, the calculation is 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 10, which gives 55. 6. Count vowels and consonants. First, we store the input in str and create 2 integer variables, vowels and consonants, both starting from 0. To lowercase, converts the string into lowercase, so we don't need separate uppercase checks. The for loop visits every character using char at I. If the character is A, E, I, O, or U, we increment the vowel count, otherwise an alphabetic character is counted as a consonant. 7. Find second largest number in array. Here we first create an integer array and take all the elements from the user. We use 2 variables, largest and second largest, both initialized with integer.minimum value so even negative numbers can be handled correctly. While traversing the array, if the current element is greater than largest, the old largest becomes the second largest. Otherwise, if it lies between the 2 values, we update second largest. This way, we find the second largest without sorting the array. 8. Remove duplicates from array. First, we take all the array elements from the user. Arrays.sort open parenthesis or close parenthesis sorts the array, which puts duplicate values next to each other and makes comparison easier. We create a temporary array called temp to store only unique elements, and j keeps track of its position. The for loop compares each element with the previous one. If they are different, we store it in temp. Finally, another loop prints only the unique values. 9. Armstrong number. For an Armstrong number, we first store the input in n and keep a copy in original because n will change while extracting digits. First, a while loop counts how many digits the number contains. Then another while loop uses modulo 10 to extract the last digit. Math.prb raises that digit to the power of the total number of digits and we add it to sum. Finally, if sum equals original, the number is an Armstrong number. For example, 153 equals 1 cubed plus 5 cubed plus 3 cubed. 10 swap, 2 numbers without third variable. Here, a and b store our 2 numbers and we don't create a third variable. First a equals a plus b, so it temporarily contains the sum of both numbers. Next b equals a minus b, which gives us the original value of a. Finally, a equals a minus b gives us the original value of b, so the values are swapped without using a third variable. This is a common interview logic question. So these were 10 important Java programs that can help you prepare for coding interviews. Don't just watch them, open Eclipse and practice each program yourself. If this video helped you, save it for your interview preparation.